Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Frontline. Jay here with an advanced review for Avengers Age of Ultron. This review will be divided by a spoiler warning alarm between the non-spoiler and the spoiler portion of this review, for those who do not want spoilers and for those that really do. Alright, I got to see an advanced viewing of the film last night and I really enjoyed it. The movie, we all know, is about Ultron. We get that from the title alone. We start off with the Avengers hunting down Loki's scepter that Baron von Strucker had stolen from S.H.I.E.L.D. in the prequel comics. You can watch my review on that here on Comic Frontline. The Avengers run into Strucker's enhanced humans, the Maximoffs, which are Petro and Wanda. He is fast and she is, well, weird. We also find out that Stark has drones set up for crowd control and stuff like that he calls his Iron Legion. They're simple droid bodies to help, stay out of dangerous areas, help civilians stay out of dangerous areas, and that kind of stuff. Nothing like his remote controlled backup armors from Iron Man 3. Tony sees some tech at Strucker's and is working on that Strucker has been working on an AI. The Avengers celebrate and getting the scepter back, and Thor agrees to allowing Tony to check out the scepter to see if Strucker may have done anything with it and whatnot. There is this great scene with all the Avengers trying to lift Thor's hammer, and not even Captain America is worthy. Stan Lee has his, required cameo in this movie, and he's a vet at a bar, and Thor gets him drunk. Excelsior! Um, we see that Bruce and Natasha have this romance brewing, but Bruce keeps pulling back some due to him being, the Hulk, who he considers a monster. And Natasha is the one that calms him down. They send her in because she takes off her glove, and when she touches him, something on her hand calms him down, and he gets to become Bruce Banner again. So she's like, him and her form this really tight bond through that. Tony figures out that the scepter has an intelligence to it, and with the help of Bruce, they develop the Ultron AI, something that they have been working on but couldn't create until now. Now, Ultron is born while they are at this party celebrating and proceeds to download everything through the internet and sees how we destroy and we fight. In the process, he thinks he has killed Jarvis, the AI. The Avengers fight him and he gets away with the scepter. Now, he heads back to Sokovia, where the twins are from, and he recruits them, promising them to stop all this violence and this war and stuff. The Avengers arrive and get whammied by Wanda, who shows them these dreams/visions. She takes everyone out but Tony, who is flying around in his armor, fighting Ultron and his drones, and Hawkeye, who hits her with an arrow that disrupts her head. Wanda also hawks out Banner and sets him off on the city, and it's up to Tony to take him down through a protocol that him and Bruce have put together. We all know as the Hulkbuster armor. This is a big game changer for Bruce, as he just wants to leave with Natasha, or just leave, period. Who tells her, and he tells her this and she tells him about her dream, and shares that he isn't the only monster in the group. Thor saw something in his vision, and he's disturbed by it. So he goes to Eric, and he has, from the Thor movies, and he has him helping him to find a way to finish this vision. And the Avengers head off to a safe house where they regroup before the big final fight with Ultron. Now, Ultron kidnaps Dr. Helen Cho to build up a new body, for him before he could download his mind into it. Though the Avengers arrive and the twins join the Avengers because they find out that Ultron wants to save humanity by, surprise, surprise, destroying humanity. Tony and Bruce attempt to download an offshoot sort of Jarvis's AI, who they find wasn't destroyed but was just like broken and hidden deep within the data banks. So, but before Tony and Bruce could do that, Cap, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and the twins arrive, telling him to stop because they're like, dude, you just created this, thing, Ultron. Now you want to create another one. When is your madness going to stop? And Thor enters and tells them about his vision, and that the only way to defeating Ultron is through this new body, this new AI. There's a huge battle with all the Avengers and Ultron and all of his droids. The Avengers win and they go out on their own until the next time. I really did enjoy this movie more than the first because there was more motivation for them working together here than just, oh, Coulson died, we had to be the team. There was really a motivation why these people get along with each other, why they work together. Plus, I really liked that the characters were more developed. And not just, Tony, Cap, and Thor. We got to see the other characters actually being fleshed out here. So I give this movie an overall 4.5 stars. I say go see it. Okay, now you stayed around, which means you want the spoilers. But I'm giving you one more chance because if you stay, I do not want to see in the comments below that I spoiled the movie for you because these are huge spoilers. You have been doubly warned now. Well, the first big spoiler is that Ultron kills Baron von Strucker. During his visions, Thor also sees that he's really disturbed by them. And when he sees Eric and he finishes his visions, what he sees is we get to see this too. The Infinity Stones and the Infinity Gauntlet. And we see that the world is broken in half. Now, we don't actually see the Infinity Gauntlet. It's not the actual glove. What we see though is this glowing golden hand with the stones taking their place on the knuckles. We also see where these stones coming from, like the scepter, like the cosmic cube. When the Avengers are recovering and regrouping at the safe house, we find out that the safe house is actually Clint's farmhouse that Fury has set him up with. And everyone, including the audience, are shocked to find out that Clint Barton, Hawkeye, has a family. A wife or girlfriend, fiance, whatever. 2 children, a boy and a girl. And he has another boy on the way. Hawkeye and Black Widow are really fleshed out in this movie. You really get to see more about who they are and where they come from and motivations and stuff. We find out that Claw, that Claw from the Frightful Four stole vibranium from an African nation by the name of Wakanda. The vibranium is stolen by Ultron, and he chops off Claw's left hand. Well, actually, his left forearm, his whole bottom part of his arm, from the elbow down, which I think we can really see payoff in maybe Shield or even the Black Panther film down the road that's coming up, with him getting his sonic arm. Ultron takes the Mind Stone from the scepter and places it into the forehead of his new body, which is that familiar diamond that we always see on the Vision's forehead. Now we know in the cinematic universe that is actually the Mind Stone. The Vision is born through Thor striking his hammer down on the chamber where Vision was created. So Vision essentially becomes the son of Ultron, Dr. Cho, who is, by the way, Amadeus's mother in the comic books, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Jarvis, and even a little bit of Thor. Now, the Vision awakens and he uses his powers, to dress himself and he makes his cape, which is like this nice little scene where he sort of sees Thor wearing a cape, and he just drops his cape down. So it's like a nice little touch there that he's trying to be like Thor in that way, or he thinks like everyone should have a cape or something. It was a really great scene though. During the big fight in Sokovia, Nick Fury arrives with Maria Hill and a SHIELD helicarrier full of SHIELD agents to evacuate the now flying city. But the bigger shocker is that an Avenger dies. That's right, someone dies in this movie, and I will not spoil that even here. You want to hear more about this? Go check out our Media Madness, which will be on Thursday, May 7th at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to be with the three wise men, Kat and I, and we're going to be discussing this. We will probably give away more spoilers then because the movie will be out for over a week by then. We also see that War Machine is back in this part of the movie, and he's, fighting alongside of Tony. But Rhodey is not in the familiar Iron Patriot armor that he was sporting back in Iron Man 3. No, Rhodey is back in black. That's right, he's back in that original War Machine armor, and he's going by the name War Machine. Now, the Hulk, I said, has been really developing in this movie. And he's fighting Ultron. A great scene is like he punches Ultron, gives him an uppercut, and then when he turns around, you see that like all the Ultron robots are terrified of him. Like they're pissing their armor, and they're like running away. These droids, they're like just flying away from him. And Black Widow almost calms them down when Ultron and the Quinjet start shooting at them. And Hulk goes after him, throws him out of the Quinjet, and stays on the Quinjet itself. Natasha tries to talk to him to shut down the stealth mode because they can't track him. She's like, come on, big guy, you can do it. But instead of like smashing it or anything, Hulk just shuts off the comm. Now, this shows that Hulk is growing a little bit mentally also, because Hulk has, basically been an unstopping machine. So he's growing a little bit here. So the Hulk is MIA now. Thor heads back. We see that they defeat Ultron, with the Vision giving the final destruction of Ultron. And everybody starts to go their own ways. Hulk, like I said, is MIA. Thor goes back to Asgard. Tony takes off after he and Cap talk about stuff, and Cap won't tell him still about what he saw in his dream, which was just, Peggy Carter. Tony thinks that Cap is hiding something, and he says that, he doesn't trust people who don't have a dark secret or something like that, which sets up more of the divide between them. The movie ends with Cap almost saying the line that we all want to hear, Avengers, up, and then we get the credits. Now, if you want to know about the post-credit scene or mid-credit scenes, however you want to describe them, check out Comic Frontline next weekend, as Kat does those post-credit shots for the Marvel movies right here on our channel. Overall, I really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot better than the first one. These little character moments, especially Clint's, really made the movie much better. Hawkeye was excellent in this movie. Some of the best scenes of this movie were from Hawkeye, I think. This movie also set up about 5 movies and the rest of the Avengers, rest of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, with Wakanda being mentioned, setting up the Black Panther movie, Thor seeing the Infinity Stones, which is going to set up Thor 3, which is going to be the next big game-changing movie they set in the cinematic universe. Avengers 3 and 4 are also being set up through that. And then at the end, we get to see the beginning of Cap and Tony's divide even more. Also, we get to get other movies, like perhaps they could do a Marvel and Universal teaming up for a Hulk movie, because I think they've really set up the Hulk for something big here. Maybe it'll play out in an Avengers movie, I don't know, but he's set up for something when he left. Black Widow could even get a movie, it would be pretty awesome with the way they're working on her character. And I even wouldn't mind a Hawkeye movie now after this movie. It really was that good for his character that I could see him getting his own offshoot movie now. There are some things that I would have liked more. Like Hawk is getting smarter in here, and there are so many scenes that where Hawk could have spoke, but instead he just went, he just grunted or huffed. And other characters spoke for him, like Tony saying the puny banner line. Also would have liked to have seen Kat dealing with Peggy stuff a little bit more. But overall, this was an excellent movie and far better than the pure popcorn fest that the first Avengers was. For the character moments, in this movie, I think it really made it something more than what we got in the previous one. And we got to connect to the characters and their motivation more. So I give this, again, 4.5 stars. I say go watch Avengers Up. Well, those are my thoughts. Now I want to know what yours are in the comments below. Also, like this video, subscribe to Comic Frontline. Check out and subscribe to my channel, The Comic Book Theater. Check out Comic Frontline, the site, for all the latest previews, reviews, news, and interviews. For even more news on all things related to comics, comicrelated.com is your source for all your comic book needs with daily updates. And don't forget to like and follow me and Comic Frontline on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. I'll include all these links in the description below. Until then, I'll catch you in the next review.